So, to do the circular saw guide, or jigger, whatever you want to call it, straight board, clamp it on either side. What I did to get the measurement, I came off, from the left on the sheet that I'm cutting. I came over 6 inches, and I made a mark on that end, and I made a mark on this end. And I put that board right on that mark, and I clamped it so it's not going anywhere. I'm gonna use that board to run the circular saw down. Don't mind that cut, it's a scrap piece of wood. So I will cut that and then remeasure what the actual piece is, and that'll give me the takeoff. All right, so there's my mark right at 6. My cut is at 10 and 5/16. So whatever my measurement is, I can come to the left 4 and 5/16, make a mark, clamp my wood right on the line, and use that as my guide, and that should get me perfect. Well, got a whole stack glued, sitting there. Got the front piece. It's clamped, to say the least. It's the window, the 4th order. This one's 12 inches wide. This one's 14, because that's what 14 by 28. Because that's what the plexiglass is going to sit through, and then it'll rest against that, through-bolted through that piece. So I already test fit it, but I figured I'd show y'all. I just sand it just a hair, which I figured I would have to, and it just fits perfect. Bam, bam. That's just the paper. It's gonna be looking nice. Well, another day working on the box. Everything's cut except for the baffle. It's got just not holes cut out, but I'll get to that in a minute. But got everything. There's more wood all over the garage. It's time to sand down some of the glue. So I've let this stuff dry. You can see it, I don't know, there's glue everywhere, but I've let it dry for, I don't know, a couple days, you know what I'm saying? But we got the wood filler. Starting to get some of that in on the front, because on this box, the only thing you're gonna see is the front. You might see the back, I don't know. Not on the actual box, but there's probably going to be another piece of wood that's going to have some anti-vibration material on it that's screwed to the back of the box, where I'm going to mount my amps so I don't get any vibration. Well, I'm not going to say any, but I'll get less vibration. But I'll take some more photos and videos along the way. Well, it's going. Got the bottom, the front, and the back. It's on the side right now. About to do the baffle. I did have I screwed that. I screwed the bottom. I screwed the back into the bottom instead of the bottom into the back. But whatever, it happens. I ain't perfect. I say we doing this in the driveway. But doing the baffle, I'll show y'all how to get a good circle. What I did is I just made a jig instead of doing all that fancy stuff. Just get you anything that's sturdy. It's backwards right now, but I got a hole, and then I got all the cutouts for 12s, 15s, and 18s, and then also the outside cutouts, the whole I'm gonna flush mount it. But all I do is I take that centerpiece, find the center of my hole, put it on it, I just screw this in there, find the one for the 12-inch, go around in a circle, bada bang, bada boom. I got good circles. Now it's time to jigsaw because I don't have a plunge router and I bought a circle jig for my router and it doesn't fit. So I'm a freaking jigsaw pro. That's what I've been doing for years. One day I'll buy a nice plunge router and get a circle jig, but I'm about to cut all 3 layers same time. Done it before, it works. You can do each individual one, but then you gotta lay out each one, cut it, make sure it's exactly the same. I'm just gonna cut it. It'll be curved in slightly, but it won't affect it. And then once you're almost done cutting it out, put your screw in the middle and you can cut with one hand and hold this up so it don't fall and put pressure on the blade. I won't be able to do this because there's nobody here to video. And if I stand this up, it's gonna be shaking. Well, I got it primed on the outside and I primed the inside. Got it painted and it looks really good. The primer on the before I painted really worked out, but we'll throw some more coats on and see how it goes. Well, it's all painted. The face of it's black. That's white on the inside. There'll be a gasket for my plexiglass. Did primer and paint. Got the logo in the back. It's black. And that is a metal logo with gasket on the back. It's not a sticker. Got my LED lights in here. Got it ran out the side on both sides. Sealed up. So you won't be able to see them when you're looking in. So, should look pretty good. Gonna go ahead and get some subs in there and some pilot holes for them drilled because I am not gonna fit through that window to screw them all down. So, we'll see. Yeah, I can barely get in here. So it's only it's like a 12 by 26 opening. So we'll get some pilots going so I can go ahead and throw them in there. You might see how heavy it is. It might be nice to get the back 3 subs mounted before you load the enclosure, but we'll see. It's gonna be heavy and it's gonna be tons of fun to put this in there, so we'll see. Well, I figured I'd make this video. I'm putting gasket on the gasket because for some reason I've had a sticking issue, and you can see where this is ripped. Each time I take these subs out, I've had to pry them off my box with a screwdriver, and it has not been fun. So especially with this box being enclosed, I definitely do not want to have to do that. So I got this gasket material and I'm gonna put it on, and so it should form a nice seal and make it easy for my subs to be taken out. Just a little advice if you have that issue. Well, It's, I don't know, whatever, day 6, 7, 8, something like that. It's all built. I got all the wires ran to the speaker terminals in the back. Yeah, it's just kind of loose and bundled up right now, out of the way. But they'll come through or something like that. That's what I've always done. It's always worked. No need for fancy speaker terminals that cost whatever, 50, 60 bucks. They look cool. But we budget around here, you know. Doing this on a gravel driveway in the carport. I'm taking this sub out. I just put it in there. I had set it in the middle to get a length of the longest run of the speaker wire, because I like all my speaker wire exactly the same length. You know, besides the whole when you connect the voice coils, but the main leads on the speakers, I always make them the same length. Even if I'm going a little bit, I make it all the same. It seems just to keep the subs in sync. I don't know if it works or not, but that's what I do. That's what I like to do. So I'm piecing this together. Tops, I got sand it a little bit, get it to fit, sand it a little bit, get it to fit. You already know, I've probably said it before. I got the design from Baseaholics, which is Drew Jones. And all the measurements were by the 1/4 inch. So I was like, cool, man, it probably just works out that way. But I was like, you know what? Nothing ever just works out that way. But he probably deals with, you know, people who don't usually do this kind of stuff. And I use the measuring tape all day, every day. So I like to measure to the 1/16 of an inch, you know, wood, 1/8 of an inch, you can sand it. So it's fitting together pretty well, but, and it might have been my cuts, you know. I do this with the circular saw and things happen, but I don't know, it is what it is. It's gonna work out pretty nicely, but I'd rather have it a little too big and have to sand it to get it perfect than it be a little bit too small and I got a gap that I gotta fill with some kind of silicone or caulk, which it's gonna get sealed with caulk anyways. I use paintable caulk. So whenever you're sealing a box or something, always make sure it's paintable, because like most of the clear silicone, but a lot of it that you see, you cannot paint it. It falls right off, so don't use that. Make sure you got a paintable caulk, because you know you'll get a really nice seam. I gotta vacuum this, vacuum it back out, but you get a nice good seam. And you know, mine's not perfect, but when you're gonna be back like this seeing them suckers move, it is gonna be perfect. And I got the gasket in for the plexiglass window. I used T-nuts and I am not happy with the way they turned out. After doing it, I wish I just would have used screws, because even though it says they were like, it said they were 9/16 of an inch when I bought them, but anyways, so you're gonna see them, and they're right on the edge, and this stuff started to split a little bit. I mean, it's nothing I can't fix, but I mean, in the corners and stuff, it worked out good, but the tops were just a little too close for comfort. But I'll fix it, and it is what it is. Like I said, this probably isn't a forever box. I don't know. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it. I'm always wanting to do something else. As you can see, there's sawdust everywhere. But I have a ton of room to work with, so we'll see. Eventually go B-pillar, but the B-pillars in these Expeditions are right beside the driver's seat, and and I don't want to be squished, you know. So even if I do a B pillar, it's gonna be, you know, like a B and a quarter or whatever. It ain't gonna be all the way up against the B pillar, you know. And I don't want to sit up in my steering wheel. I want to be comfortable. It's a big body. I like riding and gliding, swinging and banging. So we'll see. So, because even if I did it to the back, then I'd have to just fiberglass a lot. It's not like I can just do whatever panels. But you know what it is. We just do this for fun. So it's gonna be C-pillar. I might move it up. You know, I'm probably gonna set this thing in here, do some makeshift panels to seal it off. I might just throw some foam and some pillows to kind of seal it off, and not bolt it down, and go ahead and meter it and see what it does on the C-pillar. Because if it's not even a 153, then I'm probably just gonna slide it up and try it again. You know, I'd really like, I don't know what to expect, but I don't know. Especially if I take these subs out, because I'm at 2 of them now. If I take these out and get the 3012s, and I do those dual ones and actually run, you know, 2 per amp, do 2 per amp at 1 ohm, then it should be a lot nastier than this. But I like these subs. These are, and I say budget, I mean these subs you can buy them brand new for like 360 bucks, and they're 2000 RMS. They are a beast. They are 40 pounds a piece. I can play these things all day long and they don't get hot, they don't stink. I've never smelt these subs ever. The entire time I've owned them, I've never smelt them. And I'm running like 2600 watts a piece, you know, which is 600 watts over RMS, and I've never smelt them. And now I can bang them full tilt for whatever. I mean, 2-3 songs, however long I'll listen to it full blast riding down the road. On my way home from work, I'll bump that stuff full tilt for like, it's like 15-20 minutes. And you know, I'll turn it down at red lights and stuff, but and they don't get stinky. They've vent real well, you know, especially inverted. So these Def Bonce knows what they're doing. And people always are like, well, they ain't even got a vent on the magnet. Yeah, they don't. And they got videos on them, but the venting is up here all the way around. There's vents all the way around, and so when the sub moves, when it's pushing air, it throws that air right into the vent. And that's shining right there. You can see it through. So these things vent and breathe very well, and it looks good, man. Man, they look good. I love these subs. So I don't know if I'll get the 3012s. I'd like to, just because these are dual 2s. But that's just the setup I was running at the time. So I don't know, man. 12 of these would be nasty. You've seen the Def Bonce builds. They're insane. But if I had the money, I would. But I'm broke, you know. I'm put this together over years, scraping pennies, saving up. And I'm broke because this is what I do. This is how I spend my money. But I'm gonna get off here. I gotta get back to work. I get very limited time to work on this stuff, so gotta make the most of it. But I'm trying to show y'all stuff along the way. You know, I'll put up all the videos, and just kind of teach you stuff. I do this all the time. Been doing it for years, so I'm not the smartest, but I know a few tricks. But my port, it's going to be 5.5, so I went ahead and cut these for it to sit on, so it can just rest. It's going to rest on top of there, you know, how the back is built, you know, and so it should sit fine. And then doom, 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 busting. So yeah, I'm not painting the sides because you ain't gonna see it. Why should I waste paint and money to do that? So I don't care what you think about me, but we're gonna be banging. Peace.